I put on tefillin for the first time. I therefore would like to say a few words about this important mitzvah. I'd like to speak about the drasha that we say when putting on tefillin, and also about the concept of היסח הדעת, lack of awareness, בברכת תפילין ובתפילין עצמם. The Gemara in Menachot that discusses the question of the bracha or brachot to be said when putting on both תפילין של יד ותפילין של ראש is unclear. This leads to a machloket between Rashi and his grandson Rabbeinu Tam. According to Rashi, you say only one bracha, אשר קידשנו מצוותיו וציוונו להניח תפילין. This bracha applies to both the tefillin של יד and the tefillin של ראש. Rabbeinu Tam disagrees and says that another bracha must be said on the tefillin של ראש. אשר קידשנו מצוותיו וציוונו על מצוות תפילין. But both Rashi ורבנו Tam agree that when you say the bracha להניח תפילין, you must have כוונה not only on the tefillin של יד, but also on the tefillin של ראש. And if between putting on the tefillin של יד and putting on the tefillin של ראש, you had היסח הדעת, for example, you spoke, you must then repeat the bracha of להניח תפילין, and also say the bracha על מצוות תפילין when you put on the tefillin של ראש. And the tefillin של ראש, which symbolizes a person's thoughts, are one unit. ביידישקייט, עבודת השם includes both action and thought. The Gemara goes on to tell us that if there is a היסח הדעת between thought and action, between תפילין של יד ותפילין של ראש, the person sinned. The term היסח הדעת, lack of awareness, not only relates to the ברכות תפילין, but also to the actual wearing of the tefillin. The Gemara says, a person must touch his tefillin while he is wearing them to make sure that he is always aware of them. This halacha is probably based on the fact that the pasuk והיה לך להיות על ידך ולזיכרון בין עיניך is followed immediately by the pasuk ושמרת את החוקה הזאת למועדה מימים ימימה, implying that tefillin needs שמירה all the time. There is an important difference between objects that are kodesh and those that are chulin, not holy. Only cheftzei kodesh, holy objects, like animals or meat of korbanot, need shmira all the time. Objects of chulin, like plain meat that we eat every day, are considered unfit to eat only if it is known that they became tameh, impure. If not, they are presumed to be fit for eating. But kodesh is different. Meat of a korban that is kodesh becomes unfit by היסח הדעת, by lack of awareness. Even if I don't know that it touched any tumah, still the meat will be unfit. Why? Because I had היסח הדעת from it. I did not guard it all the time. And even if Eliyahu Hanavi comes and tells us that the meat did not touch anything tameh, the meat or the korban will still be unfit because of my היסח הדעת, lack of awareness. Tefillin are also kodesh, and therefore the person that is wearing the tefillin must always be aware of them. Does that mean that I have to think about the tefillin all the time that I wear them? We define the היסח הדעת as a lack of awareness. There are two kinds of awareness. One that is active, obvious, and another that is latent, not active. Let me explain it to you using two examples from my family. from my family. I have a baby sister, Ora, that I'm very attached to her. When I play with her and hold her, I definitely have an awareness of her. When I'm in school or playing with my friends, the attachment is still present because I love her and feel responsible for her and I am committed to her. But the attachment to her while I'm away is not an active one. It is passive, latent, and not obvious. The second example relates to my great-grandfather, Rabbi Alter Nachman Zalman, after whom I'm named Nachman. He passed away 5 days after I was born. He was a Jew with a strong faith, a Shomer Shabbat and a Shomer Mitzvot. When he prayed and when he celebrated Shabbat and the holidays, his awareness of his Yiddishkeit was active and obvious. Zaidi did not sit and study in a yeshiva all day. He was a businessman who worked to support his family. He was in the office. He was not in the yeshiva. Zaidi always did business with integrity and honesty, and many times lifnim mishurat hadin. To be honest and fair when you're not bedaled amot shel bet hamidrash comes from a strong awareness of your Yiddishkeit. This also is not an active awareness. It is passive, latent, and not obvious. Zaidi was committed to Jewish law and our Masoret, not only at home and in the Beit Knesset, but also in the most difficult place, in the office. Had Zaidi not been honest and fair, this will be a Hesech Hadat meHamasoret, because it contradicts our Masoret. You don't have to think about our Masoret every minute of the day, but you must be aware of it and committed to it, and not contradict it. Let us go back to the mitzvah tefillin. Rabbeinu Yonah says that when the Rambam said a person must touch his tefillin while he is wearing them to make sure that he is always aware of them, he didn't mean that you must think about the tefillin all the time that you are wearing them. It is enough for the person to feel committed to the tefillin during that time and not to do anything that contradicts the kedusha of the tefillin. For example, talking lashon hara while wearing tefillin would be hesech hadat, for lashon hara contradicts the kedushat of tefillin. We learned before that Rabbeinu Tam says that you must say 2 brachot lemitzvah tefillin. Since when do we say 2 brachot for one mitzvah? Is there another mitzvah when we say 2 brachot for one mitzvah? Yes, the mitzvah of milah. B'Gemara Masechet Shabbat, at the end of the Perek Rabbi Eliezer the Milah, we find the Chachamim say, the Moed says, the bracha asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al hamilah. The father says, the bracha asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להכניסו בבריתו של אברהם אבינו. And if the father is also the Moel, he says both brachot. Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik explained what the 2 mitzvot have in common. In both, mitzvah tefillin v'milah, the person does a mitzvah, and the mitzvah itself brings about a dramatic change in the person. במילה הילד הנימול. בתפילין, the person who is wearing the tefillin. As the Rambam says, the holiness of tefillin is great, and as long as the tefillin remains on a person's head and on his arm, he is anav ve'yireh shamayim. In both tefillin v'milah, a mitzvah is done, and there is a dramatic change in the person. בלשון הישיבתי, הגברא עושה מצווה וגורם שינוי בחפצה. במקרה הזה, האדם הוא החפץ. This concept helps us understand the wisdom of our minhag, that the wearing of tefillin starts when a child becomes bar mitzvah, accepting his change from katan to gadol. Saba once told me that Zaidi told him how to get along with his new family, the Septimus. Always he said, give Rashi the last word. אני גם כן אכבד מסורת זו. I too shall respect this מסורת. Babi, today in the Beit Knesset, I put on the tefillin of Rashi. Minhag Ashkenaz follows the psak of the Rama and Rabbeinu Tam to say two brachot, להניח tefillin and al mitzvah tefillin. But after we say both brachot, we still add the words Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. These words are normally said after a bracha levatala. What bracha levatala? After all, the Rama paskened like Rabbeinu Tam that you must say two brachot, not like Rashi, who said that you say one bracha. So why do we add the sentence Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Vaed as if we had said a bracha levatala? We are just following הפסק של הרמה. I heard an interesting svara, true, we pasken like Rabbeinu Tam. But in so doing, we have shown some disrespect to Rashi, Rabban של כל ישראל. We add the sentence, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Vaed, respecting the opinion of Rashi, that you say only one bracha for tefillin. Therefore, the second bracha may indeed have been a bracha levatala. I am here today. My brother and sister are here today. My parents and grandparents are here today. And I think that probably most of you are here today כדי לכבד את Babi Rashi, as a token of respect to Babi Rashi. I would like to thank Dod Zev, Doda Yocheved, וסבתא רבקה that they did not try to teach me kibud avayim, but showed me by example. I want especially to thank Saba Chaim for learning with me all year and preparing this drasha with me. Toda. Thank you, and thank you for coming.